Hey, what's going on, everyone? I do apologize. I know we were supposed to be doing one on child support earlier, but this one was sent to me via request. And we had a situation that happened. Um, so sometimes you gotta pull yourself out of YouTube and refocus yourself on what's in the real world. And I'm going to definitely still do it because that's what I said we were going to do. We did have a pretty good cast of people. Um, but this one right here, I wanted to talk with you guys on this one because there's a big frailty of a talking point. And shout out to a friend of mine. They brought up a good question about the roles and positions. And I'm gonna do the other piece, or the other portion of it later. It literally is a two part. It's two parts if done correctly. Um, so I'm gonna do each one accordingly. But I wanted to talk with the men first, um, because as a man, you would hopefully you'll be leading. And I know a lot of women don't want to hear that, but a lot of men, I speak to them first, but I'm a man. A lot of women don't like that. Hey, tough, kick rocks. But I want to definitely address the men on this one. And this is something that a lot of men mistakenly they don't get it. They feel like this is winning. And I guess in some people's mind, they see it as it's a win. They see it as, well, I mean, I got this thing on lock and I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So technically, why y'all complaining? And I guess it's so easy if you're getting access to some pussy and you're able to sleep with all a whole vicarious of women, but you're not really running shit. You're not really doing nothing. What's going on, Brandy? Okay, do me a solid, sis, and share the content. And let me change it up. But I want to make sure I can do this where even younger people they need to understand. I do apologize about saying that p word. I apologize. If you never know who's watching it. But I wanted to definitely discuss with y'all, especially a lot of young men that think that because they have access to the woman's sex, they think as a man, so you got access to her money, her car, her body. So technically, by default, you're running things. You're the man of the house because she's doing all X, Y, and Z for you, and she's giving you her check. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not real manhood. I know y'all probably are told differently in some other places that nah, bro, that's what I'm saying. This is I'm running this stuff, but I'm telling you right now, I've seen too many of you men. I'm gonna be honest, black men, you're the last ones to actually have ownership of anything. You really aren't. When it comes to homes, when it comes to property, when it comes to education, you're not like you're not doing too well, man. And I know y'all can say, well, the mama, the mama, the mama. Listen, I'm gonna have to pull that umbilical cord from you. I got to. I got to pull that umbilical cord from you because at some point, you a man, you're gonna have to understand that, yo, okay, so you didn't have the best upbringing, but that's still no excuse why you can't jump in this race. And I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to, you know, pat you on your back. But see, there's this small frailty that a lot of men, young men, or just men in general, think that because they tapping her or she's giving them the check that he's running things. I see brothers right now, they have it where their girl is signing the lease. Their name's not on the lease. But it you come but they get mad when The, they get mad. They get mad when the police say, "Get the hell out." You get mad. You get mad when you can easily be checked. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been there. I've been there where I moved in with a woman. I'm not gonna say I understand certain people have certain circumstances and stuff. And yeah, you may have it today where you can talk your trash and say, yeah, she ain't gonna do nothing. She ain't gonna kick me out, bro. Sooner or later, every dog will have their day. Some just some just get it quicker than others. You like to talk about the white man, the white man, the white man, but when are you gonna be your own man? You like to talk about children and legacy and all this other shit, but goddamn, when you gonna run your own shit? I want to be more PC for y'all, but at this point in the game, brothers, I gotta let y'all young brothers know, man. Don't let some of these people hype you up and thinking and stuff. I see it all the time, too many times, man. And I get you other races. Well, first of all, I'm worried about what's going on in our home, what I'm seeing. But then y'all get mad when y'all say, "Yo, there's a big issue of black homelessness for men." Well, I mean, stop moving in with a lot of these women thinking, well, because I got a penis or because I can spit some type of game, that means I'm in control. You're not, keyword, you're playing a game with your life. That's why I'm hearing so much of this submission talk, because you're learning right now, she's learning your game. And one thing it comes when it comes to playing these games, sooner or later you got to turn it off. Sooner or later you learn that you're nothing but a joke to some of these people. And I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that. I know a lot of y'all don't like hearing, well, when are we gonna be, as a man, our masculinity is being taken. Bruh, you choose. You're choosing for that to be taken because you're knowingly moving into a setting thinking that you're running things because because you got access to what goes on between her legs. Something about you thinks that you can keep her in line. Now y'all get mad when a woman say, "I'm the man. I'm mommy. I'm daddy." Well, are they wrong in what they're saying when they say that? But if I gotta raise, I ain't gonna lie. If my daughter has to raise her children and her husband or baby father or whatever the hell she get into, then I'm like, baby, treat him like a boy. Treat him like a boy. And see, that's a big issue that we're having. And I gotta keep it a buck, man. I'm watching a lot of men on social media right now. Why won't these women do this? Why are they saying that? Well, bro, they don't see a lot of men these days as men. Because a lot of men these days, see, the thing about being a man is being willing to take accountability and fall on that sword. I've even heard other men say, well, women don't have to hold no accountability. I'm not a fucking woman. I'm a man. When are we gonna be equal to a woman? I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to be equal to a woman. I don't bleed once a month. I don't go through hormonal changes every goddamn month. When it comes time to owning up to goddamn the weight of the world, it's gonna be left on me, a man. I'm only going off of that prehistoric caveman ingenuity that's been engraved in me. Even the women are getting tired of trying to be that of the men. So I'm sorry if I do not seem empathetic towards the plight of what I'm hearing. Damn, so you just be there caping for the women? No, motherfucker. I just don't give a fuck for weak men. I really don't. I don't. Dudes make it seem like they're the only ones that got it hard. I'm saying this and I'm trying to see. That's why I'm trying. That's why I gotta build strong men. And I get it. A lot of people don't like hearing that, but bruh, it's not gonna be easy, man. It's not. But if you find with your woman being the head of the household and checking you, and I get it, I'm saying y'all can work together. But you as a man, you understand you need to shoulder that burden. We got this big, we got this big problem going on, man. Where I'm not sure, like, what's really the deal with all this stuff, man? Like, do you want? I mean, at this point now in the game, I get it, man. Some men, their hormonal instinct of being a man did not kick in. It did not kick in because you're gonna have to understand that at some point, that yo, bro, you got to learn how to stand on your own. Before you can talk about taking on a woman, you got to be willing to be a man and stand in that room by yourself. I've had many nights. I fucked up, I failed, I come short in grace. But one thing I'm not going to literally complain about is woe is me if that woman had just did X, Y, and Z. Dude, it comes with the territory of being a man. And some people talk about that they want that rule or they want that authority. But I'm telling you right now, bro, I don't feel like a lot of men are built for that shit. Yeah. Like it's just one of those types of stuff, man. I'm not trying to run nobody's household. I'm not. That's never been my coy. But I am here to let a lot of y'all know, man, that there's a reason why they're saying there's not much men left. To be a man, that's a title. That's an honorable title. It is. One that I don't take lightly. Because to be that man, to be that guy, you gotta be willing, to own the night. You gotta understand that you're gonna have time where life's gonna want to kick your ass. You're gonna have it where you might be getting disrespected. How you handle that in your home is gonna be on you. But what I'm seeing is I'm watching real time a lot of men want that. Yes, a lot of men want that of the same petition that the women get. And it can't be that way. I'm sorry. You can't ask for submission from your goddamn roommate if they putting in 50-50 with you. I know I don't want to hear that. But it is what it is. That's why when I watch a lot of these conversations, a lot of these talks, I always ask like, where's the contingency of the talking point? That's why I be like, y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that work. Are you? Do you really want that type of energy? You gotta understand, it comes with sacrifice. It comes with times where you're gonna be getting your ass curb stomped in. What's going on, Patriot brother? I know sometimes y'all be like, damn, BMT, like, why you be going so hard? Like, what I'm saying? We should have equal rights as men and women. No, you don't. You're not going to. This is why the country is going the way it's going. This is why the family household is going the way it is. Because we're seeing it where everybody wants to be on the same equal playing field, and that's just not possible. You now have it where the men, where is the link? I don't know. Big Goda, I don't know why you asking about a link. I don't know. He's asking about a link. You be all right. Let me see. Where is the link? Is WHERE. But we have this thing going on, man. We have this problem. We got a big issue going on. A lot of men, I gotta ask you, like, I know you were told about the game, the sexual market, about the promiscuity of how women they want a man, they need a daddy. True, I've heard it. I've heard it plenty of times. I'm not gonna lie, I used to look for those type of women too. And yeah, yeah, it's no secret, man. There are a lot of women looking for a man just to be in the home, just to say they got a man. So they'll take any and they'll take sometimes they'll take any type of man. But now what's going on is the women are now raising the bar. Now you can choose to go for like the low hanging vibrational fruit type of woman, which I will not call her a woman. I will call her a hyena. Now the hyena, this is something that a lot of men like to seek after certain type of men because they know that she has no aspirations to build. So guess what? He doesn't have not have to work hard. He doesn't have to prove anything. But he's like, what do you mean? I'm all you need. But then what happens when that hyena transforms from being an animalistic trait and she actually starts to step up to being a woman? She starts seeing her friends start to have a lifestyle, start to move into different apartments, start actually getting better credit in their job together. Now she's saying, whoa, hold up, I'm working. This is something that a lot of men, you're going to have to start waking up from, man. I get it. It's easy dating that low vibrational type of woman. And no, and I can tell you right now, there's women in the chat right now. They understand that. They understand that. There's women that understand that there are certain women they don't care about the well-being of their children. They don't care about the well-being of their livelihood, about the car that their parents might help them get, or any of that stuff. As long as they have a man in that home, and see, I get it. Some men think that hey, this is the ideal thing I need to go after, but you got to be wary of that because if you're fine with just being at that, you're gonna get set up. And I've seen it happen time and time again. I've been that guy that literally is happy, man, getting that ramen noodle, having access to a girl. I mean, to a woman. I mean, I call her a girl. She was a woman. We fighting, arguing, driving that beat up Honda, driving that beat up Honda, making our money. But see, whenever I got into an argument with her, you know what she used to always be able to tell me? Get out my apartment. Go home to your mama. You need to go call your brother. You ain't gonna no, you're not gonna be doing that here. Now, could I get mad at her? No, because I knowingly moved into that situation. I knowingly chose to deal with that type of energy. And because I knowingly chose to do that, guess what? I put myself in that. But see, I could always have bragged off to my friends. See what I got, bro? Damn, bro, you got that whip? Yeah, man, my girl went down to keyword. My girl went down to the car dealership and got it. I didn't get it. She went and got it. I'm just driving it. I'm just renting it. I'm just living in that moment to brag off that look what I'm doing. That was something that I needed to understand as a man. And I get it. Some people are like, yo, bro, Joe, like, you bugging, man. You bugging, B. No, man, I'm telling you for what it is, man. Because you're not fixing your credit. You're not getting your livelihood together. You're not possibly shaping what you need as a life. How many young men don't have their credit in working order? Don't have no bills, really. And I mean, yeah, there are some men out there that they're slowly getting it together. But in that frailty of an ideology that you think that, yo, man, like, I'm running this. That's my gal. So what happened when another man comes by with a better deal? What do you do then? What do you say then to that man? What do you say to her when she actually starts challenging the ideology of strugglation that you sold to her? And she's like, hold on, I deserve better. Why am I why am I settling for just you when I literally can get a man that can do for me and elevate me? Now, some people say, oh, hell no, that's some simp stuff. See, you're saying that because guess what? You can't do that. I'll never do that for me. I'll never do that for my. You can't do that. Like, this is the thing about it. Like, there are levels to power, and there's levels to obtaining and controlling and having power. Now, when I hear certain men tell me about, hey, I ain't doing that. That's you. Okay, cool. Then why are you on social media complaining about the women that literally have kicked your ass out? See, you can only play these games for so goddamn long, man. I'm a man. I don't play games. Children play games. That's why they look to a lot of men these days like children. Want to be coddled, hold, told what to do. One man didn't even know how to do his damn taxes. His girl knew more about him than he did knew about himself. He having to call his mama. Mama, you doing the taxes? Yeah, but make sure you give me some of that. I'm like, why is your mama doing your taxes, bro? What are you talking about, bro? Like, shit, I'm gonna get that money. Key word, so you need your mama to do it for you? And this was, I mean, the brother had a job. It's just that he was so used to being a child. He's so used to the child position. He never really grew into that mindset. He always needed somebody to tell him what he needed to do. Not he just tell himself, he as a man, how he needed to move. I never understood that. That's talking point of back in the day, women used to submit. Well, guess what, motherfucker? We not back in the day. We not. Back in the day, they thought a lightning bolt was goddamn some divine holy power from Baal or some shit. You have it where men talking about goddamn, they want to know about the female medical procedure. Bro, that's not your lane. You're a man. And for some of y'all need to understand, man. Y'all keeping that ideology of what's back in the day. We're not there, man. I get it. You think it was a simpler time. See, you know why they like talking about back in the day? Was it was a simpler time and people were stupid. People didn't know better. Now that you have access to knowledge of information, guess what? You can make your own free decision for yourself. You can make your own free decisions. And the thing about that is that scares some people because now it's you. It's you, buddy. You got to make those decisions. You got to learn how to stand on yourself. Like, I got a thing. I got a few more minutes. I don't think a lot of men want that type of responsibility. And the thing about it is, for a lot of women, I'm gonna tell a lot of y'all women, y'all need to stop coddling y'all sons, man. Stop coddling y'all sons and let them be a goddamn man. Too many goddamn women, they coddle their sons and hope that goddamn that's my baby. Okay, let him be a goddamn man. Let him own up to his shit, man. Let him learn how to fall on his face, man, and earn his right in the world. It's a bad habit that we have, and I get it. Mama doesn't want nothing to happen to her baby, but mama also needs to understand that guess what? That your baby need to own up and be a fucking man. Hey, Vidoga, do me a favor. Can you cam up?
Huh?
No, we're talking about Vidoga. Can you cam up? I don't know who you are. Oh, I know who you are, Diderot. I know who you are, Mahogany. Vigoga?
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
what's up?
Hi there. Why did you ask me if I'm what?
Okay, hey, what's up?
Oh,
Got Mahogany, got Vigoda, and is it
Red.
Diderot?
Well, I hopped up here
Yeah,
because
what's up, brother?
oh,
Yeah. Go ahead, go
I
ahead, go
think
ahead.
he was reading my mind because I actually I'm talking about this tonight. Are we must be empaths or something because I'm
I told
talking
you.
about this.
I told you.
No, but this don't make no sense. And I mean, I literally just clicked on and I saw that you were live, and I said, no, he is not talking about this, but it needs to be talked about because it's a problem. And it's only something I see us particularly doing. Well, no, I lied. Other people do it, but it's definitely a problem in our community. And what you have is a lot of, first of all, it stunts the potential of a man. If you continue to take care of him and treat him like a child, you're stunning his potential as a man and a father for another woman. You see what I'm saying? Yes, there are sons, but we're trying to raise them up to be men for another woman, right? So he can be the head of his household. But when we baby them and we put them in a position to where they don't ever have to grow up, they don't ever have to, they can always come running home to mommy, then they never really learn that position in life. And
Right.
you see it all over YouTube. All over YouTube, you got a bunch of women defending grown men. And the fact of the matter is, they might think that they're getting somewhere with that, but most real men do not want a woman defending them. They don't like it. I'll tell you a story, then I'm gonna be quiet so somebody else can take the mic. I'll never forget. My son did something, but he was dead wrong. There's some noise. I don't know. There's like some wind
It's
or
from me or
something.
no?
Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, can you mute up, mute up,
No, it
mute up?
was from the big guy.
Oh, okay. Just really fast. Okay. The point is, my son did something wrong. And, at the time I was married, but his dad told me, listen, step out of the way. Let me be a father to this child. Let me teach my son how to be a man. Because I, at the time, wanted to coddle him and wanted to protect him. And he was like, no. Step your ass to the side and let me teach this boy what he needs to know. And that's a problem. Like a lot of us, and what we're seeing, and we're living proof that it's going on YouTube. You're seeing a lot of grown women jump up in defense of grown men. There's nothing wrong with saying that you love brothers, and because I do too. I love brothers and sisters, but real men understand. I need women to understand that real men do not want women fighting their battles. That's not what they want. That's not even attractive. You want to talk about playing a masculine role? That's very masculine, and you see that all over the place. So
I don't want to sound chauvinist, but I don't think that the average man will want to be protected by women
well, that's what I'm
for
saying.
much time.
That's exactly what I'm. They
Yeah.
don't want that. They don't need you. What I look like 100 and something pounds, but my man is a big old 200 something pound man talking about I'm fighting his battles.
How
He's
many
gonna tell me
kilograms?
right. He's gonna tell me to move out the way.
You said
What-
100 pounds. How many kilograms is a pound?
mhm. So we're joined here by is it Vig? Is it called Vig?
You can call me V.
Okay, so what's going on, V? What's up, man?
Okay. It's
Go ahead.
almost 1 in the night here, but so
So okay, so I remember you. I know you wanted to comment on the conversation.
yeah,
So what's your thoughts about
I love the metaphor that you did about women being like hyenas. You
okay?
call it in the USA gold diggers, no?
Well, I don't see the thing about it is, and here's the thing about it. I think when we ask about a woman being a gold digger, this is my conception of that. A woman should look for a man with the best chances of her survival, of living a productive life. Because her job is to raise a family, right? Her job is to help raise a family with her husband. So
Yeah.
if she, I don't find it wrong.
No, bro, with
If
all
my,
due
I don't
respect,
find it
no
wrong
jokes.
if a
Um,
go ahead.
yeah, but if I may say, bro, we know with all jokes aside for a minute, we are not living in the Middle Ages. If a woman wants to
Correct.
work and stuff and have kids in the same time, that's okay. And of course, it's not like we are going to treat women like a property. Of course, in the same time, they don't need to be to act like a man.
Hmm. Right.
Can I oh
Go ahead,
I
Margaret.
just and I want the brother D Darrell to speak. I just there's so much and see I didn't listen to everything. I just hopped up here. But the whole gold digger thing, like that is so yes, there's gold diggers, but let's face it, a lot of these men that are claiming that, black women are gold diggers, half of them don't got no gold. Like let's keep it the fuck
Who
real.
says
Like
that?
you know what I'm saying? Like the people that are complaining about women being this is the thing, and this is just a fact. And I think D Darrell, I mean, he can chime in on this. I'm sure he knows the stats and the studies and stuff like this because that's his thing. But statistically, like black women are not getting the things. First of all, our standards tend to be very, very low. And that's the problem
Black
that we
women
have.
are more prone to date men that are lacking financially than any other group of women.
Exactly. Thank you.
Why?
That's the thing. Like we're more likely to put up with way less compared to other races
But
What's
now
the
the
reason
question.
for that?
Yeah. Good job.
because
Good question on that, V.
well, and DJ Rel can correct me. I did a little bit of study. I mean, I'm not like a professional like him, but I
No,
did.
it's all good. Go ahead, rock, Margaret.
But from what I learned, it's an economic thing, and then also it's a cultural thing. So it's something that a lot of us have been taught to stand by your man and basically ride or die. And a lot of it comes from ignorance. I'm just gonna flat out say that's what it is. And because let's say it's a generational thing. So let's say my mom never knew what it was to have a really good man. Well, guess what? She raises me. So she put up with a lot. She put up with the man that didn't work. And I'm not saying this is all men. I'm just saying in this circumstance, right? So she worked 2 jobs and had a man that didn't do this and didn't do that. Well, guess what? She made it. She survived. She was quote unquote this strong black woman, right? That foolishness. And then what does she do? She teaches her daughter that she can do the same thing instead of wanting a little bit better, instead of doing a little bit better. It's like they pass it down. Am I right, Darrell?
Okay, that's okay.
Yes, what you basically expressed was the fact that generational wise, mothers internalize their own experience and they use that experience as a way of preventing their own children, particularly their daughters, as far as playing the role of encompassing the same negative experience that they are experiencing. Uh, However, the flaw in that is the fact that your experience doesn't necessarily mean that your daughter's going to experience the same thing, because you're two totally different people, two totally different personalities, and you're also living in two different times. Uh, but mothers, the thing about it is they're doing the best they can because they're teaching only what they know, and so if they have their own experience, that's going to be the platform in which they can, teach their daughters as much as they can to protect them from the experiences that they encounter, and that's what any group of people do. They base their own experiences in life. They use those experiences, and they want better for their children. The problem, the issue as far as within our community as it relates to how we prepare our children for these type of situations is that we focus so much on the dysfunction of we base what you should not be done based on function, instead of focusing more on what as a mother that I'm doing that is functional. We because you can listen as you listen in this space and other spaces.
Right.
People complaints when we're talking about relationships, we go strictly to the dysfunction. You will learn more about what we are doing dysfunctional, but nobody wants to talk about the functional things that black families do to stay together. And it's as if there is no existence of functional families in our community, and we all know there are functional families, and so and I think that's the problem. And so in teaching young women or men to come from a place of dysfunction, what you're doing is you're creating a situation in which black women, younger and so forth, they're going to automatically expect failure. They're going to automatically expect black men to have some level of ineptitude as it relates to them taking care of them, economics and so forth. So you creating this distrust, and that's why. And see, when we talk about the thing about I don't need a black man, I don't need a man or whatever, that came from the fact of growing up in a position of distrust that black men can take care of us, black men can hold down a family. That phrase just didn't come about spontaneously. It
Who
came
the hell
it came
says that?
throughout
Who
development
the hell
develop
says they
in
it
a
can't? Who the
developmental
hell says
standpoint.
that?
What?
What do
No,
you
I
say, V?
asked who the hell says that?
Uh, in this culture, a lot of women say that.
Okay, I never heard that before. Well, I'm not
Well,
from the
well, sir,
USA,
you
but
but
never mind that.
you're not from this country, so we wouldn't expect you to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, what are the women saying in your culture?
In my country,
Yes.
they are bitchy.
So, okay, so they complain in your culture. Now, are the
Yeah, and
men
they complain.
okay?
They they always look for the alpha male.
Okay, so they're
And you
looking
need
for
to
an
pay
alpha.
them in dates, but if you don't pay them in dates, then for example, I had once a case that I want to go 50-50 with some girl that I took for a second date, and she told me I'm going to the bathroom, and then I discovered 10 or
She
20
like
minutes later that she left.
so the girl didn't want. So the girl. So on the first date
Very
you
funny.
paid for the. So so the so on the first date. So on the first date you paid for the date.
Why are you so
Then the second
laughing?
date.
It's
Then the
okay.
second.
Sorry.
Because you broke, that's why.
Because I'm what?
Okay, so the first date. So the
I
first
didn't
date you
pay
paid
for the
for the
food.
date.
I wait for her to finish I wait for her to finish her stuff in the bathroom. So I didn't lose any money, at least.
So did you feel like y'all should have gone 50-50 on a date?
It was the second date, and that's what I wanted. She was not such a big deal, and
Okay.
she in the end was a gold digger.
Okay. Now how is she a gold digger? V. How's that
because she
go then?
want me to me to spend on her money. I
Now the
took her
But
thing
to an
about
expense
hosting a
restaurant,
date.
and I what?
But you're hosting a date.
So I took her to a restaurant, but come on, 50-50. It's a second date. It's not like the first date.
But you know
I
what?
know it
Some,
was a dick. It was dick.
well,
It was dumb for me, but still, I know.
Pagoda, I just want to
Yeah.
say this and I'll let you men have it. Sometimes, and see the cultural differences and all that stuff, but basically you need to make it like there's a lot of assumptions. Like if a man asked me out, I would assume the first day, because he asked me out, I would assume that he wanted to pay. But let's say I asked him out, then I might assume that, I don't know. People have different assumptions. So maybe, maybe she didn't realize that you wanted it to be 50-50. Sometimes you have to make things clear and
Look,
people are,
my dear, in the first date I been to her city, her hometown, okay, and then she came to a place that more close to my hometown, and
okay.
it's I should paid for her, but I took her to expensive restaurant. I didn't have a lot of money on me in that time,
okay. Now
so
here's the thing about it. Did
yeah.
you think that if you paid for the date, you should have sexual access to her?
No.
Ask me that, the guy, not you.
Oh,
And
go ahead, V.
guys,
Oh,
no,
I thought you was talking to us. Okay.
Let's ask
uh,
V. V, did you think if you as a man you paid for the date that you should have sexual access to her?
no.
Okay, all right.
And see that,
Probably, if I will try to get my hands on her, it will, for a second, for just, for one time, or how I say it in English, for if for in base number 3, probably I will do it in date number 10, and I will probably start try to kiss with her something, and date number 4 or
can
date
I
number
say,
3.
and I'm gonna be quiet, I promise. Cinderella, I'm gonna let you have this. First, let me just say this to all people listening. You cannot put a number on when it's gonna happen. What did you call it? Base 3. You cannot put
I
a
said
number.
usually.
Yeah, I
Usually.
understand, but I'm talking to the people that you got to let this thing happen naturally. It has to be a vibe that you both are feeling each other. Because she'll let you know. She'll give you the cues that she wants something else to happen. Don't just assume. And I'm not talking about you, Vagoda, but don't just assume that it's date 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got to. It's something that is very individualized, like people vibing. You both got to be feeling each other. It happens when it happens.
I
Now,
know. That's just usually.
why? Now the thing about it is,
But first of all, in the first date, that's not going to happen.
so here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it, and I think almost V fits in there too. So why are men okay? So the 50-50, could the man still actually be treated or looked at as a man if he's playing in the 50-50 lane?
Bro,
Yeah.
it's we
I'm
live
gonna
in
say this, man. In 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 the 50-50 thing, and to be honest with you, this generation of women are not going to give you full submission if that's what you requiring if she is paying 50-50. That's just not how women psychologically are built. You cannot expect all of these things and you're only doing half of what is required because you're depending on her. How can you expect, because with submission comes some level of dependency, how can you expect a woman to be 100% submissive to you when you are 50% dependent on her to live? That don't even make
bro.
sense.
We're not living in Saudi Arabia. We
That's
That's not how
illogical.
it goes.
I agree
Now,
with
some
With
women,
who?
let's say this, some women who if they were raised to be submissive, they will give you submission without you even asking for it, whether based on how they were raised, culturally, how they grew up, the way their mom taught them, and so forth. But the average woman today is not going to give you. The reality is this: You can want that all you want, but you cannot give half of what you're supposed to be requirement, but you want somebody to give you full of everything. That just that's just not gonna happen in this day. This space needs to understand the reality of dating. And the reality is that that's just not going to happen. The chances of that happening, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be far few in between. So you cannot do that. You cannot say, well, what I say goes and this and that, and I want to be demanding and all this other different stuff, but you paying half of the bills. You ain't even offering to pay 75%, 80%. I mean, I'm just saying, you have to do above that in order to require anything close to that.
Like I said,
I'm,
I didn't have
I
money that
agree.
time, and it was a mistake. Okay, I shouldn't take her to a fancy restaurant. I should take her to a piece to eat pizza or something, and then at least I could pay. And then I could easily pay 100%.
Vagoda, and then I'll let you have it, BMT.
I
No,
like Pagoda. At least he's
I do.
honest.
This is
He's honest on.
awesome. Pass. Hey y'all. Hey trailer. Okay, so basically, Vagoda, what D Darrell is he's talking about on the broader scale. So you're talking about your date. Where he's not actually talking about your date now. Now he's talking about some of the talking points that have been brought up on YouTube about men thinking that they can pay 50% and still get full submission from a woman. And I agree 100%.
No, who the hell thinks that?
There are people, honey, the things that are online today. There are
Who
people
the hell
online.
thinks that 50% will get you into her house? For God's sake.
Well, a submission.
Yeah.
I just want to finish my statement on this. I agree with D. Darrell. Pretty much that relationship is almost like a roommate relationship. Your roommate pays 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Or, you split it things equally when you have roommates. But when you're talking about a relationship, you can get submission, but like he's saying, that woman has to want to do that for you.
Yes.
And then if you're, oh God, this is so deep because I've seen so many women submit. And
I tell you, we got to do the second part on yours Mahogany.
Okay.
Come on up here.
I can ask you
you
something, my
saying a
dear.
lot
When
of
you
women
say
do this?
submission, what do you exactly mean? What, a relationship between a hoe and a pimp? What
No,
kind
no,
of submission? Like a
okay.
cult
So, and
leader?
that's the thing, Vagoda. That's the thing. Submission is different for every individual. So I think a lot of the men are talking about just having a woman that goes along with whatever the man is saying. Pretty much, that's the type of submission they want. But if you really want that type of submission, you need to have your own. So you can say, you can't be living with a woman talking about submit to me. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your own. You got to have your shit together. And I think that's what D. Darrell is saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Now, the question is this: why is it that people have this obsession with submission? Let me ask
Because
that
they
question.
never had it.
Okay. But I'm
See,
saying because people that are in a functional relationship don't usually bring up submission talk. I mean, let me know if how y'all on y'all side, but that's not usually something that comes up in conversation at tables or stuff like. So, are you going to submit, or do I have to get you to do something like that? Doesn't usually like once that submission talk start coming up, people start saying, "Okay, I might need to get the fuck away from this person because what's going on? Like, what's really going on with you?"
like,
So you got to start asking the question, like,
right.
I'll tell it to any woman, like, hey, the minute this guy starts talking about that submission shit, you might want to take a step back, start figuring out, hey, this might not be the
Sounds
one you
like a
might want.
Saudi for that submission stuff.
Well, believe it or not,
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A lot of guys that talk like that, and I'm not speaking of men in general, but a lot of men that speak on this submission and you listen and do what I say. A lot of those guys engage in domestic violence, and I hate to
Nice
say
to know.
that. I hate to say that, but
Yeah.
I've just recently specialized in doing more domestic violence this year. As actually it started last year. I started trying to specialize in it as of fall of last year, and there are groups that I've been in with men that have domestic violence issues, and they sound just like the Manosphere. It's guys in there with the same complaints, talking about they called the police on me 5 times and I ain't do nothing. She just won't listen to me. She need to do what I say and don't, I'm the man and stuff like that. And a lot, I'm not saying guys that's, but there is a percentage of guys low key that probably has some run-ins with domestic violence or speaking, because functional men don't talk about that because they're functioning, doing what they're supposed to, they're getting a submission automatically. And I think that most black women, I'm not saying all, but there's a large percentage of black women, if they are in a functional relationship and things are being taken care of, they will easily submit. I've found that just visually and in my own relationships. I've never experienced hearing issues of femininity and submissiveness until I came into this platform 5 years ago. I've never heard guys talk about this. This never was in barbershop talk, things like that. It just, this stuff never came up. And to the intensity that it is, I mean, the only people that I hear talk about it in this manner is guys that are taking domestic violence classes.
Now, the thing about it is, and let me ask Mahogany. And
I'm here. I'm coming. Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay, baby girl. Now,
Okay.
You have nice
now the thing
hair,
about it
I
is,
must say.
and after
Are
that,
you a
I'm gonna kick it
model or
over to
something?
D. Yeah, hang on. I'm about to ask you next, bro. I want to know, Mahogany.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like that might be a red flag if a man is asking you that at the dinner table? Like, if I do X, Y, and Z for you, I expect you to submit, or do X, Y, or you feel like there's nothing wrong with that?
Oh, I definitely think that's a red flag because, like you were just saying, I've been in a relationship for a long time. I've had a few relationships, and it's never been an issue because that's something that should happen. That should happen kind of naturally. If I believe, oh God, I just got off from work, y'all, so I'm still in my work uniform.
Oh,
It's
go
all
ahead.
good. It's all good.
You look
But
like a model, I must say.
I'm gonna
I
finish
said
real
you.
quick. But,
Yeah, I just said
Let,
you
let her
look
finish,
like a
brother.
model. Okay.
okay, basically, y'all, I'm fumbling, but no, it's definitely a red flag because that shouldn't be the first thing. That shouldn't be his main interest in you. When you're first meeting, you're trying to get to know one another. You're trying to get to know one another. You should be enjoying each other's company. It shouldn't be, what can you do for me? What can you do to satisfy me? That's a sign to me of a very kind of a selfish person. There's nothing wrong with submission, but it should happen naturally. And it's usually something that just happens. For instance, you've been dating someone for a long time, naturally you're going to start to care about the person. So what happens when ladies? What happens when you start to care? Well, when you start to care, you know that he goes to work. So what do? You get up in the morning, you make him some breakfast. You know that he might be hungry, so you make him dinner before he gets home. That's the act of submission that he's getting without him even having to ask. But he's earned your respect. He's earned your submission. So it's nothing that you should just right off the bat. What can you do for me? How are you going to submit to me? Because it sounds like they're coming from a place of selfishness. And I don't care what anybody else says. And I might be wrong with this, but I believe in some ways you submit to each other. For instance, I have certain things that, for instance, my yard, I hate cutting grass, but there are times when I come home and my grass is already cut because he's thinking ahead. I know that this is something that she needs done. Let me do this for her. He doesn't live here, but he wants to make sure that I'm straight and that I don't have to worry about it. So, but I didn't come off the bat. Well, can you do this for me right away? Can you do this? Can you do that? No, it's something that you gradually just fall into, I guess.
Yeah, if I say it's more of a partnership than to be submissive and stuff.
In
You
some
know what?
ways,
Let me give you
go
a
ahead.
sign of if about bad dating. Don't date let me give advice to the lady. Don't date somebody named Muhammad. Then it probably will not end up real nice.
I think, I'm gonna say this,
What?
but I remember I'm gonna bring, and I always tell people like it's a give and take, you know. Uh, When I make my check, I make it for my household. Men submit to their household because we want to make sure. I mean, be honest. Like majority of the time, women be buying stuff in the house, blinds, curtains, nice things and stuff. As a man, you usually be like, okay, hey, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? I'm pretty sure mahogany turned that plenty of time. Man just says, what do you need? As long as it makes, conjugal sense, cognitive sense, we'll give her that. We'll do what we can to make sure that we can provide.
Yeah.
That's just one of those things. So in that state, the woman is getting. She's like, okay, my man does for me. My man provides for me. Well, providing is that's you're submitting whatever resources you can towards your household to make sure your household survives. When school time comes, hey, babe, school's around the corner. The kids need clothes, shoes. You know what I'm saying? So whatever project we gotta get, hold off on that. But see, you don't hear this conversation. And the thing about it is, I'm hearing more so of the game of getting between the woman's legs, being able to get access to her paycheck. Either Rail done heard it, Mahogany
Really?
done heard it. Get access to the paycheck,
They want
be
the
able to drive,
paycheck?
That sounds
Yeah, they want the
healthy,
drive the
paycheck.
whip.
I must say.
Oh, damn. But you know what? And I'm going to be quiet. But you know
There's
what?
some women
There
that
are
do that
women.
now.
I know. Dear God, I could tell you some stories. Got the man up in the house, honey. He ain't paying that bill. She cooking 3 meals, giving up all the coochie she can give up, honey. It don't make no sense. And women, the women like that make it really hard for other women, for decent, smart women. Like they make it really hard because they're so goddamn easy. Too easy.
Now, but now I have now let's ask a question. Is that level of submission hurting the family dynamic or the wanting for a man to want to improve himself for the family, brother Dieterell, or no? Like she's
Man,
just doing what she can to hold down her man.
I'm gonna say this, man. If you're doing that for a man that's actually handling his business, then that's okay. But what it hurts is that if there are women doing this for men who are not bringing shit to the table, then that because you got to understand that's only going to last for so long. Because what's going to end up happening, there are going to be some things that are going to happen in life that are going to require him to come to task. And if he's been conditioned to depend on you, he's going to end up not coming to the uh basically coming to the table with things to resolve and issues and so forth, whether it's in the home, financially, or what have you. What's going to end up happening is that the woman's going to feel like she's doing everything, she's carrying the load, and she's going to be frustrated, and she's going to be bitter the fact that I'm with a man that can't do anything for me. And to be honest with you, a lot of the women, usually when you hear women complaining about men, they're usually complaining about the last 3 to 6 months, a year of that relationship when things just went bad that led to them. And there's usually some things about, that they're gonna. I mean, I'm not saying everything is all the man's fault in a relationship, but a lot of these women that do this thing and go out of their way, eventually is only going to last so long until they get burnt out doing it, or some spontaneous crisis or something happen where she she needs him to rise to the occasion and take care of things, and he's not able to do it. And so that puts more pressure on her, and then she's going to end up saying, I don't need what do I need you for? It's all good when things are cool and there's not no real issues, but when a crisis comes up, when some issue comes up, let's say your kid got sick or something, somebody went to the hospital, or death in the family, or y'all had some financial issues, the roof broke, the roof got a hole in it or something, and it requires things to be done, and she find herself with no help. I mean, that's gonna cause problems.
Right. That is.
And so when you sitting there, and this is what women need to understand: if you sit there and do all of these things and don't require a man to do anything, he's not going to do it when you want him to do it. That's not how a relationship works. You can't think because I'm doing all of these things for you. I mean, in a perfect world, it would be great to be reciprocal. But if you're doing things and he's doing nothing, when you're unable to do those same things, he's still not going to do anything because that's
And
just
that
what he is.
Then there is
and
a
that's and
problem.
that's and that's when I get upset about this is when the resentfulness and the mistrust. Thank you. This is when resentment comes in, mistrust comes in. Yes, please. Because you'll have it where the woman's trying to do right by this man. She's trying to, I'm trying to make sure my man is good, but he's not looking out for me. And so when I hear the selfishness, because running a household or being part of a household, it's a team effort. You understand? It's a team effort. You're going to make sacrifices. She's going to make sacrifices. And with that comes that earnesty, like Mahogany said, where the person is going to want to submit. But the thing about it is you have the issue where as to where the men they want to be equal as the woman. You can't have that. I'm sorry, you can't. You gotta understand it's just one of those things where you're the man.
Can
Your job is to be in the forefront and do what you need to do. I understood exactly what Mahogany said. Like, listen, you got to sometimes as a man, we're looking at the bigger picture on a lot of things. So that way, the yard needs to be cut. Babe, the yard needs to cut. The bush needs to be taken care of. Okay, I got that. I'll get that taken care of. Just give me a make to do list. These kind of things, you know what I'm saying? But she's taking care of the meticulous things, the children and the X, Y, and Z stuff. We're having these problems where the men are running to run into the same kind of access that the women are getting.
can
Well,
I? Oh, sorry. I always do
no,
that.
I know Mahogany. I know.
Let the lady speak,
That's a
bro.
big problem of why when I hear the men saying that they want they want the equal opportunity of the women, I'm like, oh man, you already got a jump start head on her on certain things and certain placements of jobs and different other stuff. But now you're having it where they want to lay up, be at home, get access to her check, get access to the goddamn coochie, and goddamn be able to drive the goddamn car and shit, and say, "Well, I'm the man of this house. I'm the king." No,
BMT,
you the boy. You the
BMT, can I
child.
say this? I gotta say this because this is what I'm going to be talking about. Guess what? I hate
Don't
that.
tell me you taking care of a grown man, boy.
No, no,
Mahogany.
no. I agree with you, Darrell, 100%. There are men that are taking care of their families, doing everything they're supposed to do, and can't get no love, no affection, no attention from their women. Those women need to submit to those men because those men deserve submission. You know, I've said it a million times, not all men deserve
You
submission.
sound like a
So when,
Muslim about submission.
and I'm going to say this part, and then I'm going to let Trailer and Vigo to talk. But basically, when it comes to women letting somebody lay on their couch and they're submitting and they're doing all these things, I'm sorry, but you can't blame nobody except that woman. And that woman needs to shut her mouth. She shouldn't have a complaint in sight because nobody forced her to allow somebody to. Nobody can lay on my couch, honey. You can't lay on my couch and not pay bills in my house. You see what I'm saying?
But
So
why are some women accepting that, Mahogany? Why
because
are women?
there's a lot of different reasons, but a lot of times it's low self-esteem. It's desperateness to have somebody, just anybody, just a piece of man, a half a man, an eighth of a man. I mean, it really is. That's what it is. Because a real person that is that loves herself, that is confident with herself and who she is, knows that she doesn't have to tolerate that she could find somebody that is willing to put into a relationship, willing to put into her. Why would you tolerate that? That's abuse. It's a form of, if I moved in right now with one of you men, I moved in on you. Let's say I was single, you were single, I moved in and you working 2 and 3 jobs and I'm just laid up mooching. Listen, I'm abusing you. I'm taking advantage of you. But at the end of the day, I can't do it if you don't allow me to. So these women that are having this done, a lot of times when it's different if the man started with something and he's down on his luck. That's not what I'm talking about. But some of these women get with these men. They've always been that way. They're going to continue to be that way, but yet you want to whine and complain about it. No, shut your mouth. This is obviously what you want. Because nobody's forcing you to put up with this. You see, so you can't blame the men about so much. We have to there's just so much wrong in this space, and I just can't wait to call it out. And that's one of the things. As coddling men, that they don't want us to we don't need to be standing up for men to like that. Do you know what I'm saying? We're
Right.
not of course like that. And then also us complaining about things that we've obviously accepted. Hey, Trailer.
Let's go, Mahogany.
It's good.
So,
What's good with the panel, man?
hi, Trail. Hi, bro.
So, I sat in the chat for a minute because I wanted to sit and listen and make sure that I was actually understanding the premise. I didn't know if you guys were talking about, introductions into relationships, or if we were talking about already established relationships. I think I kind of got an idea of what you're talking about. I do agree with the thing Mahogany ended with about men or women both, neither one need to allow that they need to protect themselves and not let people come up and do that. That's like, for instance, a lot of you guys have already heard me talk about how me and my wife started dating. We were both she was coming out of a bad marriage. I was a year out of a bad relationship. I wasn't trying to get serious with anybody. She wasn't either. We were honest with each other. We told each other straight up, I'm not trying to be serious. I'm not trying to get into shit, yada, yada. And I think the thing that made our relationship where it is now, to where, we have a healthy, balance with each other, is the first thing we did is I already had a home of my own. She was living with her mom, and getting ready to move in with one of her friends. We didn't move in with each other. We established right from jump that we were not going to go from, we've been talking to each other for, maybe 3 or 4 weeks to playing house. Let's sit here and continue doing us and maybe getting to know each other from a distance first, and see where that goes before we try and move in with each other and see if that works. I think that's where a lot of the trust issues that a lot of couples have end up coming from, is the fact that they go from just meeting to trying to live with each other and play house, and they don't have that distance to be between each other to where they can actually earn and garner trust from each other. That separation is where trust is found and gained. They're having to wait 3 or 4 days, having to wait till the weekend to actually physically see the person. When you go from, meeting someone into a bar to having them in your house, for a booty call, to, a week later living with you, and then that's how it is from there on out. There's nowhere to build anything. Now, last night I was on Platt's channel. All right. And I do want to address the fact that there are a lot of women out there. Sat and listened to this one woman talk about how her man came home, he worked a full-time job, came home, cooked, did all the fucking cleaning, did all the dishes, and the only thing she did was go to work and do the laundry, and he paid the majority of her bills in the house that was in her name, and the only thing that she would go out and do for him is buy him a long stem rose. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And you wonder why you're single.
Wow.
Okay.
I have seen that there's a lot of women that are like that, but there's a lot of men that are like that too. So I'm not going to sit and say that it's one or the other. There's a lot of people today that seem to want to take, and think that they don't have no responsibility to give to the relationship. You can't always fucking and not give back and think that things are going to be healthy and copacetic.
Definitely.
I digress with that and allow someone else to comment.
Say, T, are you American?
I think one of the things about it is when it comes to it is we have this Thank you, thank you. We have this logic that's building up where a lot of men are not being pressured into the position of being a man. It's not something that you can just easily be called. It has to be earned, and it's earned through trial, or just building yourself up. Versus that of the maturity and nurturing of a woman, whereas to a lot of women are now starting to see there's a lack of men in the area, and you're having it. Whereas to you know, a man is now starting to become no more than just a walking vibrator, just a talking point, something just good to say I have or a bragging point. I noticed what I've heard and spoken to a lot of the women. Um, Back then, it was you had to own or step into that type of position. But if men are getting comfortable with being in this type of systematic setting of saying that, hey, the system is crippling me from being a man. How is the system stopping you from being a man? Like, what is it? What is it honestly doing? I had to ask the question because if you're saying that you're fine with living under the woman and letting her go to the system, which is her new daddy or man, then literally, are you saying that you're just the boy in the relationship? Are you being coddled? Are those two carrying you? Like, we have to ask this type of question because we're seeing it where a lot of men they don't have a problem with that woman, making the money. And I got to be honest, the biggest home buyers are women. The biggest home buyers are women. Y'all don't have to believe me. I can pull up the stats on that one. When it comes to getting credit and different types of stuff, I shouldn't see it where a lot of men they're having it where they have to contact Mama Mahogany. Hey, did you do the taxes or did you fill out certain type of paperwork or stuff like that? I see this all the time. Mahogany, how many times have you seen it where men are asking the women to handle the stuff inside the doctor's office, where they have to go to the woman and say, "Hey, what's the information?" That stuff that you as a man now they don't even look to the man to have these kind of answers. Why? Because they look at it as, well, I get it. She's the woman. She's pretty much running the ship. And so this is when you're seeing it where now the men are now more so they may not know it, but now men are now starting to this new occupation of men are now falling into the more so submissive role, and they don't even know it. That's why when Dita Rell's saying that these men are begging for submission, because they're used to being in a point of butt breaking submission, where they've been the one that always has to submit. But I mean, I don't have to believe me. There's plenty of goddamn information. You can look at YouTube, look at the talking points. Look at majority of the conversations are always about sex or back in the day when we used to do X, Y, and Z. Well, you're not that man. You ain't out there building no wood cabin. You're not out there pushing out no 14 and 20 hours and shit. You ain't out there fixing no goddamn dropping no engine and all that other stuff. Your ass is here on YouTube talking for 8 to 10 hours like it's a full time job. And then telling about what the woman need to be doing. Her ass is right there at T-Mobile punching the clock. There's definitely a problem with the power right now. You know what I'm saying? I grew up when men used to brag off. Look at the car my bitch got. This my shit. And then after I kid you not, they'll be bragging. I would see a brand new goddamn Mazda, a goddamn Bonneville, a Pond, whatever. It would roll up, dude, had the windows tinted, had the rims done. This my shit. Oh, it's a girl. How you get that shit? My girl, we got our tax money. We went on down there and we got that shit knocked. Come on, I ain't making this shit up, bro.
No, I know you're not, and we all have seen that. I call it ghetto fabulous life.
I used to always wonder, like, damn, I mean, I've been there, man. Listen, I've been there. My damn girl will be going to work at McDonald's. I'm at home eating ramen noodles, watching goddamn Nickelodeon with the kids and shit, having a good time. Tell her, hey, baby, when you on your way back from Dollar
Say, who is here got kids and who is here not have kids? If I may ask.
Ultimate? Oh yeah, they would have the Nissan Ultimate. I have the car. I have her walking back from McDonald's, telling her to stop by Dollar General, pick me up a pack of cigarettes. But I'm telling you, this is the kingdom. This is kingship. This is being a man. And in some men's eyes, you're a captain. You running the shit. But and you know the thing about it? We were sold the Jody deal or doctrine, where we expect D. Darrell's daughters to fall in line to submit to these type of men. We expect Mahogany to teach her son to go after these type of girls. And at the point now where it's so bad that anybody will take whatever they can get, they're afraid to have to go at it alone and get their shit together and raise the standard of what they should have acceptable.
You know what's so funny? So I've heard a man complaining about submission, right? A woman better submit to me, yada, yada, yada. But in the next breath, he was saying, well, he's not marrying anybody. So I'm thinking to myself, why should a woman waste her time submitting to you when you're already letting in? Because he said he was letting them know up front that he wasn't marrying them, that he wasn't doing this, that he wasn't taking care of her kids, that he just here to hit it and quit it. And I'm thinking to myself, and you wonder why you're by yourself. You're going to stay by yourself because that's not even an appealing deal. What woman wants to be with you knowing that you're not going to ever commit to her, knowing that you don't give a damn about her kids? And it's like, it's obviously bullshit.
Because they don't understand. They don't understand how submission works. They don't understand the dynamics of what a relationship is supposed to look like because they ain't never been in one. You got to understand. It's a reason why you hear people saying this stuff. Notice a lot of these guys, most of these guys have never been married. Okay. And to be honest with you, this is the only space that I've ever been in my life where there are men 30, 35 plus that don't have children. They've never been married, don't have children, and they don't consistently date. So how do you expect men that you have limited interaction with women, you don't have children, you never married, don't date, but you're supposed to have all the answers for what you expect to get out of a relationship?
Well, look, dude, something else that I heard last night, all right, was in response, all these men that are on this panel, they believe that a woman's supposed to be monogamous, but be okay with a man going out and have multiple partners. In what world is this okay? To where you think being monogamous to the person that you're building a life with is you being a simp, and
that's it.
It didn't make sense. I mean, in the same breath, they're bitching about these women that are gold diggers, but they want multiple diggers. I'm serious. Listen to what you're saying. You're bitching about these women treating women, and you think it's going to be better with multiple of them.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, they want multiple, but they don't actually want the responsibility. And
you see what happened to Brother Polite?
People, who the hell wants to have multiple wives? What are we, Bedouins or something?
Right, I don't understand that. Look, there's times my wife stresses me out enough that there ain't no way I could handle 3 of her.
Who wants 3 women? Who wants 3 women, for God's sake?
The way I see it is if you want to be with multiple people, then you need to just be single and date and be honest with the people that you're messing around with, that you're messing around with multiple people. That solves a lot of problems.
So
like, don't even play those games.
So the thing about it that we have to ask a question on is why is the standard for what somebody should take or should accept dropping lower and lower and lower and lower? Why is it dropping?
Good question.
The standard's dropping because people don't want to commit to what it really takes to keep a fully functioning relationship. There are people when you look at it, and I'm gonna say this is from both sides. When you hear people talking about relationships, most people that are in these spaces talk about what they want from the other person, but they never talk about the value of what they're giving to the other person.
Facts.
And so it's a thing. People want a lot of things, but they don't want to give what it takes. And if you want someone to give you all these great things, well, you got to be giving them great things too.
Well,
Why
the other thing too is
that goes
people,
hand in hand.
people need to stop with this fallacy of 50-50 shit. 50-50 means that you're both only giving half of your fucking ability to the relationship. You want a functioning relationship, you both give 100%. End of discussion.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think one of the things about it, that, and don't worry, I will talk about the bar on the ground for the women, but when I talk about this one, and when I brought up and I showed the picture of the man outside with all his stuff, his clothes, his shoes, his video game, and he having to sit outside hoping that that woman will take him back, hoping that she'll be merciful. This is sadly, that's happened to a lot of men. I myself, I openly told you I've been there. I don't want my sons to be in a situation. I don't want my daughters to be in a situation. I thought that, hey, I'm doing a good job because I'm laying down with Laquifa and I have access to her. You know what I'm saying? She got a man. You know what I'm saying? We doing good. You know what I'm saying? I got my little hustle, delivering metal and shit. But the thing about it was, I wasn't trying to commit to building a family. I was just trying to get the benefits of what she was building. So whenever she would try to have the beneficial conversation of, yo, man, like, Joe, like, are you ashamed of me? See, y'all, people don't never think women are on a clock, and Mahogany can stop me. Got a woman right here. Women are on a clock. They look at meticulous details of, is this nigga serious or is he just wasting my time? And if he's wasting my time, but I'm watching everybody else get what's theirs, and I'm still sitting here. And now you done watch Granny put up with that man. You done watch Auntie and Mama put up with that man. And so now this is why the women are saying, fuck these men. I'd rather just do it on my own because I know he has no plan to get me to the next level.
But see, can I say this? You're right. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
And then I'm gonna hop down DMT. But I love this conversation. I'll be listening. But basically, women are on a clock. If she's smart, she's on a clock because we understand. Like, say we're dating a guy and it's been a couple years and he hasn't, if we're at that point where we're ready, we're only gonna wait about so long because we don't have all day. We can't have babies forever. We've got a certain period to where, in our youth and everything is TikToking. It's different for women than it is for men. But I will say this: if she's smart, she's not going to say to hell with men. What she's going to say is to hell with that particular man and go get her another man, a real man. She's not going to waste her time with that man. But don't say to hell with men because we do need men. If she wants the family structure and she wants that, then she needs it. If that's what she wants, then she is going to need a man. So it's not to hell with men; it's to hell with that man. You see what I'm saying?
No, you're right on that. You're right on that, Mahogany. But you're seeing now the generational agony build up. Now, Dita Rose already done had his boxing match with a few of these type of behaviors, and so this is now where you're seeing it where they are now going. Now, mind you, these same type of behavior caricatures are going after the same men that they hate. So I'm not sure to sweep them or keep them in the home or whatever it is, but it's like a cycle of abuse. I can't make this shit up. Like, this shit's real, y'all. So, and we're just looking at it on the microcosm of just YouTube, but it's realistically happening where the same The same thing that these women hate, they
They
keep
run to.
right, and they bring it right back in their home.
But men do the same thing, BMT. The same thing they bitch about, they seem to flock to.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
But see,
that's lovely. The reason behind this.
but you
In
want to
other
know
words,
why?
humanity is sadistic.
Would you know why Vigo? You want to know why? You want to know why B? Why they keep going to that type of woman? Because they feel that
Okay, why?
she's easier to manipulate because she's mentally off her game. She's
Like,
mentally broke.
they want somebody that'll give them their money, their car, and fucking let them just lay around and, sleep on their couch, smoke weed, and, hustle all day long.
But that's why I say that woman has to have a standard for herself, and a standard, if she has children, have a standard for her children. Am I being a good model for my children? Is this man, you have to have a standard. If you're willing to accept that, then be willing to accept the consequences of all your bills being late, of you
Well,
getting
Mahogany,
evicted.
I
Uh-huh.
think it's fair to say that we have a generation of young adults and adults that are probably, I'd say from 18 to in their close to their 30s that have very poor role models of how to be a mother or a father or a wife or a husband. We have a whole generation of that shit going on right now. And
I want
really what we need to do is we need to step up and we need to start the ones of us that actually understand this need to step up and be more of a guiding light and show these people that it is possible to have a healthy functioning family.
right.
Okay, but okay, so let's ask this: how can that happen if you have it where the older ones are doing it? Because these aren't. But to be fair, and when I watch it on social media, these are not young people talking so much like you. They're doing it, but but for real, if I would ask D Real, the average age of these people are what in their mid
40s,
30s and
30s.
40s.
Late 30s, 40s,
Right?
So
They're products of the boomer
and some
generation.
in their 50s.
right, so they're kind of the older people that, and I'm not throwing those shots at ages, but we are. I kind of like. I'm seeing a pattern.
I
I'm
know
seeing a
BMT,
pattern
I
of a
get
lot
it,
of these
man, but
people. So
the thing is we got to stop allowing people to, use their childhood as an excuse on why they're a piece of shit and treat others like shit.
That's true. Because the whole, and I'm
Definitely.
going to say this and then I'm going to hop down. The whole, I didn't have a father, I didn't have a mother. That is, yes, that is a valid reason to why you might not know what something looks like. But
No, it's not,
I feel like
because I didn't have a father,
right,
and I still know how to be a
neither
father to
did
my
I.
kid.
So my thing is, at some point, though, it's only going to get you so far. At some point, you've got to take like responsibility for your life and stop blaming. Oh, I didn't have this, because a lot of us didn't have it, and we still turned out okay.
Personally, I think not having a father made it easy on me, because you want to know what I do? The exact opposite of what my father did.
That too.
like I said, at this point right now, but I will talk about and I've already talked to my mom about it. Um, even I didn't always have the best relationship with my mother. I didn't always have the best relationship with my mother, but I never had any vitriol against black single mothers, and I
You
didn't
had
have any.
what?
You know,
Against black what?
well, it's Vigo, just be along for the roller coaster ride. I'll take you everywhere, Vigo. I'll take you everywhere. We'll be along
He's
for
going
the
to
ride.
have to do to you what he did to me, man, and trust me, it's going to be
I'll take
fun
you
with
everywhere.
him.
But see,
Okay.
the thing, no, Vigo, don't worry. You're welcome to come and have the conversation. But one of the things about it is, a lot of people feel like because they didn't have that experience, that might be the generational curse upon them. Listen, man, I try to tell y'all, man, just because your daddy was a Rolling Stone, he's not a Rolling Stone. Just because your mom did not make it work with your father, doesn't mean that's the fate of all of y'all. Just because, like, I don't know. There's two things, and I'm gonna throw it over to my brother B. Like, what we're carrying too many of these parental curses as if they're our own, or saying like, well, grandma and granddaddy, they made it work, so Well, they did that, so this is why that's them, man. I can promise you, you weren't in their mind when they were doing them at the time when they were doing what they were doing.
That's a
So I don't know why y'all keep on carrying these burdens and stuff. You need to go do what's best. Like Trilla said, hey, his dad was a piece of shit. So he did the exact opposite of what his dad did. You know what I'm saying? I hear how doggone. I'm pretty sure Dita Ray don't act like his father. Mahogany didn't have a father, but she knows how to choose a man. And V, you understand what certain women that are very bad behavior got to deal with. Like at some point as an adult, god damn it, like the accountability mindset has to kick in. It
I
has to
say
be
it every
able where
day, man.
you like I know, like, I'm going to do a talk probably later on tonight to talk to the women. Like, stop trying to make your man your lost daddy because that's really fucking up a lot of y'all women. You're trying to make your man your daddy,
Or
not
stop trying to be his mommy, because that's fucking him up too.
well. See, that's well. See that goes with how Mahogany was alluding to, but she was being nice. A lot of women believe that their coochie can heal or rebuild that man. That maybe I can fix that man. A lot of y'all women are getting fucked up for it. You can't save that man. He needs to get him shit. He needs to get his shit together. The best thing you can do is drop his ass off in front of D. DeRose building. Let him go get some goddamn therapy. All this shit where y'all thinking that through sex and giving him money or being a yes man or mammy that's gonna help him. It's not. I'm telling you. That shit, if anything, he's not gonna become a functional man around other men. You know what I'm saying? This is why we have these problems. So when it's time for him to be a parent, guess what? He don't even know how to fucking deal. He don't. I got a picture. I got to send a Mahogany, in D. Darrell of a young black father. I'm not sure y'all saw the picture. I did a video on it, but I took it down. I was too nervous about that picture with that little infant. But the way that man had his pants sagging and he was holding that baby like it was a rag doll and all that shit, I was like, oh my God. I couldn't even finish my meeting. I couldn't finish my
Wow.
meeting because it troubled me the way that child was being held like it was an
Like it
accessory.
was a bag of fucking flour or something, man.
Right. I was like, yo, bro, put your arm. Listen, put your arm under that child's neck. Put your arm, but the child doesn't have any structure to hold up its neck. You're causing brain damage. He was looking at me as if I was speaking pig Latin. But we have it where a lot of children are just adults as adult children. But I'm gonna let D. Darrell
It sounds
give a
like
fuck.
abuse.
It is abuse. It is abuse.
Well,
Dude,
they say that there is a lot of violence in America.
I agree. I agree. So final thoughts, fellas. Go ahead and give your final thoughts. V, you can go ahead and kick it off.
I have a few questions for you, bro.
No, I mean,
Hello?
yeah, we're on final thoughts, but what's your question?
Um, First of all, there's a noise here of some air. Somebody with the noise can turn it down.
Go ahead, B. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a question. In general, when is going to be your next live? And if you want to say
Um,
to me, happy holiday.
what holiday? What
There's
holiday
a
are you
holiday in my country right now,
what country are you in?
Israel.
Israel? Oh well, happy holiday in Israel.
Yeah,
How y'all doing over there?
fine. It's like I said, 1 in the night, and it's a holiday here right now.
What is it? What's the holiday that y'all celebrate?
Sukkot.
What's that holiday?
What's that holiday? We build one of those, and we sit in it and welcome people in it. And
Okay.
we celebrate with vacation and food. That's what we do in general.
Okay. Well, we got a few holidays coming up also. Thanksgiving and
Yeah,
Christmas.
you have, but you just have Christmas, no?
No. We got a lot of holidays.
You have the
We
stuff with
have,
the turkey, no?
that's we have Halloween coming up. Halloween's coming up.
Ah, okay.
Halloween's coming up,
Must
and
be
then
fun.
yep, it's just one of those things. Uh, let's see. Um, let, let me go over again to Trailer Hud. Go ahead, Trailer Hud.
Well, this is what I would say about what you've been discussing. My final thoughts on it is, I think people, if you're single, if you're a single person, a single man, a single woman, you need to really start investing in yourself first before you invest in someone else. Once you invest in yourself first and give yourself some self worth, then you will actually start attracting and bringing worth into your life. People that are in relationships and maybe having issues, you know, guys, stop trying to dictate and tell women how to live their life, and women stop trying to be their mom. Show each other some mutual respect. Um, Talk to each other, communicate. That's the one thing that I've seen that is lacking really big time in, a lot of households is lack of communication. Don't go talk to your girlfriends or your homeboys about your problems at home and not talk about your problems at home with the person you have the problem with, because it's never going to get solved. You know, just it's like this, man, and this is how I'll end my final thought. Use the golden rule. Start doing to people how you would want to be treated, and things will start falling into place. And as BMP said, accountability. There is a massive lack of it. Stop blaming everybody else for shit that you or who can be responsible for. You still have your part to play, even in the function that you think that someone did to you, because you let them into your life, and that'll be it.
Thank you, brother. All right, Darrell, go ahead, brother.
Hey, man. Once again, man, another good, thought-provoking show. I love the topic again, and I like the fact that everybody had diverse ideas about a lot of different things. But I think that this is something that needs to be discussed, and more shows about things like this, because it actually talks about the real foundation of things as it relates. Is just not about you coming from a female or male perspective. It's about things that on both ends. What are we doing? Like, do you deserve to have these things that you claim that you want or you're entitled to? And with getting submission, means that you have to have some things in line in order to receive it. Because there are a lot of men who get submission and don't deserve it, and then they lose it. So so that it comes with you providing things. So that's all I basically wanted to say about that, BMT. Definitely know you my brother. I love you to death. Look forward to seeing your live streams again, man. Peace.
Thank you for that, brother.
Yeah, I will be
Well,
happy to be in your next live stream.
thank you, B. Um,
Welcome. So I
like I
have
said,
I have another question for you. What do you think about the new movie of the Candyman that was just out in the theaters?
honestly, it's just a remake. It's a remake. I'll tell you what. I'll do you one solid. I haven't seen it, but I am. I do. I'm supposed to go watch it and give my
I saw
mental.
it.
Okay, I'll tell
Well,
you
let
what.
me help you do a review on that.
Okay, so here's
Yeah,
what
I
I'll
would
do.
love to be in a review about it.
Okay, so give me tomorrow. I should have it. I should be able to go watch it tomorrow. And
Okay,
what I
if you want, you can watch it on the internet. There is in a good. You want me to give you a internet channel that you can watch it
you
freely?
can't say that on YouTube. You'll get us in trouble. But
No,
say,
I'm going to put it in the private chat. Don't worry.
I will go watch you guys. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go watch
Okay,
the
enjoy.
Candyman movie.
You saw the
Thank
movie? You saw the Karen movie?
Huh? What movie?
The Karen movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen Karen.
What
Hey,
do you
I'm gonna
think
get
about
out of
it?
here, BMT. Shoot me a message later if you go live. And
All right, brother. Like I said,
all
Yeah.
right,
I gotta start getting ready. But other than that,
peace out.
what I
You're
want to
getting
do,
ready for what, bro?
I got work.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
What do you do?
IMT, could you ask the question? Could you please ask the question?
You telling me to ask the question?
No, not you. IMT. What is your question that you would like to ask? Please ask your question. Please ask your question, please. Okay. He's not gonna. He or she is not gonna ask. She is not gonna ask a question. I will go with she, but she's not gonna ask me a question. So, other than that, you guys, yes, you. What is your question that you would like to ask? How do I contact you? Well, we do have an email. We do have a email that you can contact. Literally, I could have sworn BK. Shout out to BK. BK always puts out that information. That you can literally get in contact with us through. Um, like I said, if you like to email us, for us to do any shows, you can always hit us up through blackbrother123@gmail.com. That's the quickest way for you to email us. So that way, we'll have our people look at the um, question and we can handle it and talk about it. Um, you email me? Oh no, you can't contact me. No, no, can't contact me. Nope, I have someone. No, I have someone. Thank you. I have someone. No, no, thank you. So, other than that, you guys, I'll see you guys later. Um, like I said, you can email us on our business email, blackbrother123@gmail.com. And oh my God, you're aggressive and pushy. This one is yes. Yes. So I don't know. I literally gave her the business email trailer. It's not even me, dude. It is not me. I am literally giving her the well, we gotta we usually put out our lives as soon as we can. Every day, no, I need to take a break. I have family and loved ones and stuff going on. Um so I know you guys, I will see you guys later. Y'all take care and y'all be safe out there. All right. And it was cool talking to you, B. You did an excellent, amazing job. I'll see you guys later. Peace. All right.